We started our sensor journey here with Freestyle Libre for diabetes, right? And right now it's the most used sensor around the globe. And but we always knew that Libre would be a platform and that we would use what we've built on our manufacturing and the technology to look at that and say, okay, are there other analytes, are there other things that we can measure that would provide insight to the consumer and allow them to live, healthier lives? And about 2 years ago, we tucked away a team to start working on that. And today at CES was kind of our announcement of at least the first phase of the work of this team. They've actually come up with 4 great new products that we're still in finalizing in their development, but a specific sensor for glucose outside of diabetes, a keto sensor. So this is great for people with keto diets and following keto diets and weight loss. We have a lactate sensor that we built, which is really good for athletic performance, measuring athletic performance and recovery. And then we also were able to develop an alcohol sensor that measures alcohol in interstitial fluid. And we're looking at, okay, can that connect to a car? What are the other things that we can do with it? So super exciting. Phase 1, we come out of the gates and announce that. I'd say it's going to depend, obviously, on different countries. I think we'll see the Lingo portfolio first outside the United States, and then we'll be bringing it here into the United States as we, forward our discussions with the FDA and the kind of data that they're going to want to see to be able to prove it here in the U.S.
Regulators, always a challenge. He also said he's interested in working with big tech platform companies like Apple, Google, Amazon. Another big topic of conversation, those highly sought after at-home Binax now COVID tests. I asked Ford how Abbott plans to ramp up distribution as the convergence of Omicron and the holiday season led to a surge in demand and, in some places anyway, a squeeze in supply.
Our team has found a way to get 70 million done in the month of January, and I'm pushing my team here to say, okay, what do we need to do to be able to get to 100 million a month? So I think what we'll see is continuing ramp up from our side. As it relates to distribution, listen, we shipped twice as more tests in the second half of 2021 than we did in the first half, right? And we're seeing a much more diverse supply of those tests. If you look at the first half, about 75% of our shipments were either to the federal government or to the states, okay, 75%. That number in the second half has come down to about 35%. And what's grown has been pharmacies, workplace, schools. So it's become a lot more diverse in terms of where you can find tests. Now, obviously, we've had an unprecedented demand with Omicron and then a lot of travel. And with a lot of travel comes, the need for people to want to get tested.
Looks like we're going to have demand for a while. And finally, Ford tells me that Abbott's approach to tech really philosophically centers on data and trust.
How do we make sure that we take our scientific knowledge, our healthcare credibility that we have, but we package it and we talk to our consumers in a way that's easily understood for them? Libre is a great example of that thinking, of not get bogged down with a lot of the technicals, but to make sure that it's understandable to the consumer. And I think that's our philosophy.